Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Let's get ready to have a duel of wits. I'm super excited. Blue Jay, I know you're terrified. I know you have the fear, but don't worry, because as a group, our goal is to do a fun thing together and to play the game. So whatever happens,
Can I,
Alessandra or
before this
Miro,
duel of
Alessandra or
wits,
Miro they might not get what they want, but we will all get something fun out of the deal.
before this duel of wits, just flash back to a time where I ugly truth to servant so that I can have that skill? I'm one testable.
No, no.
No.
Sorry, that's not how that. We're not blades. We're not blades in the
We
dark.
can't flashback.
I'll take a stress.
No, no. Instead, you can have the trauma of I don't have ugly truth.
I was gonna say you already look like you're taking a stress.
Okay, so Brother Miro, if you win this duel of wits, the king will confess his sins and allow you to guide him in restoring the kingdom. Alessandra, if you win this duel of wits, he will abandon his guilt and his obligation to the Church of a Dead God and rule with you at his side. So, go ahead and choose your actions. So, Brother Miro, here, let me separate this a little bit. You're gonna want to like scroll down if you're looking at the Roll20 window here. Miro, put yours below your bit, and Alessandra, put yours above yours. That make sense?
Yep.
So Alessandra here, and Miro here. Yeah. Ah, I deleted your. There you go. So yeah, go ahead and just get those set up and place them on the board, and we will work out time to flip afterwards.
Trying to remember how things work. It's been a while.
Yeah, totally. So we have the Duel of Wits. There's a handout if you need to refer to.
I just opened that up and
refer to those abilities. Generally, the way it plays is we reveal the two actions, and then you will role play what you do, and then you make a check, and then we move on to the next action, and so forth and so on, until one of you has run out of disposition. I'm very excited. I think this is going to be really cool. All right, you've prepared your actions. Y'all are ready?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Flip over those first actions. Let me get my Duel of Wits ready here. A point. Oh, an obfuscate from Miro. Okay. So, a point is your action, and an obfuscate, it is a versus test.
Mm-hmm.
So, your job, Alessandra, is to simply make a point as to why the king should abandon his guilt and why he should rule with you at his side, and why, tell us your point. Miro, your goal is in this case to be confusing, to say things that don't make sense, and present a bizarre, unrelated point in an attempt to confuse or distract your opponent. So let's have the point first.
Yeah, so the last thing that was said was, I'm sorry, remind me of where we ended this conversation.
Oh, I think the two of you were just like, there was a moment of tension where the king was like talking about you as being sin, and Miro was like, you should just tell me your sins.
Confess. Yeah.
And then you get to basically start the argument just by making a simple point.
I think Alessandra looks around and looks back to where the protector was, and she says to the king, I think,
because that's who you're really arguing at.
Yeah. You sit here in your grief, the door barred to anyone who would come to you, and meanwhile, horrors, the castle frozen over, the kingdom frozen over, and yet you do nothing. It is is your faith, is your guilt, is it really helping you?
Mm-hmm. Right. So that if you didn't have the weight of your guilt around your neck, you could be a better king.
Mm-hmm.
Good, solid point. A plus. Okay. Miro, bizarre non sequitur.
Weight and guilt and all these human emotions. While trying on the heart are nothing when faced with divine will. In fact, as I said, I was privy to this divine will, though not of God himself. No, we are to understand that he, our Father, is no longer with us, but instead the one who answered my prayers was none other than an angel. An angel with great and terrible power.
Right. I like that you're not even talking about him. You're just like, but God is good and there are angels. There are definitely angels. I have seen them, which is great. Yeah, I like it. Okay. So you're kind of like using it's more the voice you're using than the words you're saying to like confuse and confound him, to be like, yes, a priest is speaking. Okay. All right. Now we should check for faith. How long does your suasion open ending last on an obtuse?
It lasts until the end of this scene.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
So all my suasion tests are open-ended.
Okay. All right. So it is a versus test. You will both be rolling. Both of you role played your action, so you'll get an extra die. And you are rolling persuade, Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Rolling persuasion. Okay. Let's build up your dice. So what have you got for persuasion?
5.
Okay. So you have 5. Add 1 for the role playing. Do you have any forks?
What was I going on about?
His guilt and how it makes him a shitty king. That it's a burden.
I think this is adultery wise.
Yes.
The way that he,
I think that's
the
fair.
way he feels about what we're doing is what I'm talking about.
Yep. I think that's okay.
Yeah. And I also referred to like the status of the court, like as it stands, like things are falling apart court wise.
Sure.
Okay, so that's +3. Roleplay, adultery wise, court wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I referred to his nobility at all. I think that husband wise and adultery wise would be kind of like,
yeah, they counter each other.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think he's a noble, so noble wise, like
always.
I mean, it applies. Yes, noble wise is powerful that way.
Okay.
So how many dice do you have?
I have 9.
All right, so 5 plus 4 extra dice. Okay, so don't roll yet. Miro.
Yep.
You're rolling you're using suasion for this one?
Sure am.
Okay, so suasion, how many dice do you have?
6.
Okay, open-ended 6. Do you have any forks? You have the 1 from the role-playing.
I have 1 from the role-playing.
Okay.
I'm going to take soothing platitudes because I began it by saying that human emotions are nothing in the face of these much greater things. So
is that
I'm taking I'm telling him it's all right because next to the angels his like personal misdeeds are nothing.
Is that really soothing?
Joy, let's get some thoughts from the peanut gallery. Elf and Andrew.
I don't think it's soothing.
Are we yay or nay on the soothing platitudes?
I honestly think it's more you're just being like you're being weird and like
your feelings don't matter
at all.
I see what you're saying, Dave. But yeah, I don't know. I think it would be soothing to Miro, but I don't know in this case that it applies.
Yeah.
Do you have other forks?
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to fork Emperor Lear. My further when speaking of angels and the knowledge thereof lends credence to my argument.
Yeah, Imperialia confuses the point. I think that's fair.
I think. Can you fork persuasion into suasion?
No, not if it's a stand-in.
Okay.
Suasion's basic forks are I had the page open. Soothing platitudes when it applies, and falsehood when it applies.
Okay, I don't have that. I think Camaraderie is good.
Okay.
I think.
So it sounds like 6 + 2.
Yeah, I'm just double checking if there's anything
Sure.
I'm interested in putting in there. No, I think that's it.
Okay. All right. So successes that Miro gets will reduce successes that Alessandra has. Alessandra is making an attack. Both of you go ahead and roll your dice, and then we'll talk about spending. Does anybody want to spend persona?
Wait. If the obfuscator exceeds his obstacle, the opponent suffers +1.
It's a versus test, so we don't have to worry about any of that until after we figure out who has successes left over.
Okay.
You'll both take away from each other's successes.
But
and we'll
I
see
don't
who
think
wins.
it... Does it take away from my successes?
Yes, it's a versus test. Yeah. Versus test always works that way.
Okay.
Yeah, test it
then-
versus everything.
If Dave has extra at the end, the payout he
Then
gets
the
rather
payout,
than
yeah.
damage to your body of argument is
Yeah.
this other.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you get 5 and Dave gets 3, you deal him 2 damage and the obfuscate does nothing. If Dave gets 6 and you get 2, then his 4 leftover points will power the obfuscate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to spend Persona for this one.
Alessandra, you spending persona?
Persona just gives you +1?
Extra die.
No, I'm okay. And the obstacle is just the other person?
Yeah, just put it ob 0.
Tie?
Okay, so it's a tie. Now, do either of you want to spend fate?
He's already open-ended.
Right, but Dave can reroll 1 failure if he
Oh,
wants
right,
to.
right, right.
I will.
If you're going to do it, then I have to do it.
So yeah, it's important that you succeed on this, Dave, because if you succeed, it cancels his test. It cancels Alessandra's roll, and if Alessandra wins, you'll take the 6 damage or whatever.
Yep.
So it's not a whittling down. It's not an avoid.
All right, well, I'll spend the fate and try to overcome with that 1 6 I got.
Yeah, you get a 6, so just roll a d6 there. Okay, so
6
6
successes.
successes for Alessandra.
Such a rascal.
And are you okay?
Nope, bad start.
Oh yeah. All right. So Brother Miro takes 6 damage to the.
And I get
thing.
+1 die to my next action.
Because it failed. Your next action will get an extra die. Obviously, it is a gamble. It works when it works. But yeah. So you say these things, and the king. It's not. There's nothing like the king turns his gaze away from Miro. And finds no solace in the speaking about the church or the angel, but does turn to Alessandra, and there's a moment where you can feel like he wants to not feel bad. He wants to be absolved of his guilt, and this seems to be like a woman that he cares deeply for, and someone who shares his sin, right? This is the thing. The sinner wants to continue to sin. It's harder to admit that you did something wrong and easier to be like, no, it is the system that is wrong. Love is better than the church. So we'll see. Flip your actions over.
I hate this.
All right, double rebuttals.
Rebuttal versus rebuttal always is so weird.
So a rebuttal versus rebuttal is just you're both making the point and defending against the point.
Yeah.
So if it's two rebuttals against one another, let's see. Do not test any. Oh, nothing happens. It says do not test any ability for this interaction. So I think you both just look at each other, waiting for someone to say something for a moment, and then we flip the next card.
Okay.
Well, all right then.
Whoa, damn. Alessandra going hard on the dismiss. Okay, so it is a dismiss against a rebuttal is a versus test. Alessandra will take the extra 2 dice plus the die from obfuscate. You will make a point of dismissing. Miro will attempt to rebut that point and then attack, and then we will see what happens. So, Alessandra, what do you say to dismiss Miro's point?
Let me just check on dismiss real quick.
Yeah, dismiss is basically like this is not worth arguing about anymore. It is like we are done talking about this.
Okay, so
let's move on to the action. A cataclysmic and undeniable conclusion of an argument.
Yeah, I hear Miro's stuff about the angels, and then there's a moment of silence where we both wait for someone to say anything so that we can like tell them they're wrong, and nobody does. And then I turn to the king and I say, this man goes on about seeing angels and the powers of a god who is dead. But why would you let some minor clergyman, what's the word? Dissuade you from the word of the patriarch? He has said that God is dead. And if God is dead, then none of these actions are his doing, and none of your actions can upset him. The things that you do, making yourself feel guilty about our time together, making yourself feel guilty about your queen who lies seeming dead, who you think that God has told you is the right person to rule by your side. Well, whatever God has said, God is ultimately fallible. So is this man, so am I, and so are you. We must make our own decisions.
Nice. I like it. I like that it's basically like the argument here isn't just about the king or whatever. It's about like, are we responsible for our actions in a deeper philosophical sense? Cool. Okay. Miro,
Alessandra to the deep end of the pool.
Miro, what do you say?
All right. We'll say first. Headphones warning. We'll move back from the mic a little bit.
Oh no.
Goddamn.
Angry Miro.
How dare you, harlot? You would dare to speak the name of God in such a dismissive and ungrateful way. Have you not seen all that he has done for you? Even in the depths of your lack of faith, I've seen it. You would do well to not speak so flippantly in my presence. Do you not realize that I am the harbinger of the angel of winter? He who brought upon this to the kingdom? Oh shit! There is a plan greater than simply yours and this man's tryst. Though he be the king, there is much more at stake here than you understand, and you would do well not to get in my way in solving it.
I think that like you go on talking about how dare you, blah, blah, and I would like to interject that you are mad, priest. You are seeing things and your God is dead. You should leave. As a rapier wit.
If you believe for a second that I am simply seeing things, then perhaps when this small, insignificant conversation with someone small and insignificant as yourself, you would stay to bear witness to the depths of the powers that I've been granted by heaven. Perhaps that would it would go some way to assuaging your concerns about my suitability as a guide to the king.
So basically you're saying like, I'm a hex you?
Yeah, don't make me miracle you. I'll do it.
Don't make me set you on fire.
All right.
Okay,
so we'll see what happens. We'll
Will
see
you
where
give
the
me
king
the
goes.
+2 for rapier wit?
What's that?
I made an interjection.
Yes. Yeah. You're Bon Mot. The like, cool, you serve a dead god. Too bad.
Cool, you're a mad priest.
Yeah, and part of Dave's rebuttal is the allowance to respond to that. So that's
Yeah,
that's
no,
all fine.
absolutely. I just want
Okay. So let's figure out
dice
dice pools first. Starting with Alessandra. So Alessandra, you are using persuade.
Rapier wit is +2. The obfuscate gives me +1.
Okay, hold on. So what's the for dismiss? What is the dice that you have?
I'm using ugly truth,
Right. Sure.
which I'm still learning.
Ooh, this is going to be difficult then. Okay. Those extra dice will be helpful to you.
Yeah, and I get +2 from the dismiss, so
Okay.
that's +5.
So hold on. So your ugly truth. You have how many dice in that?
I have 4.
Okay, so 4 dice to start, and then you're looking at how many for forks and all of that stuff.
I can't fork. I'm learning it.
Right. Okay, so you have 2
I have
dice.
+1 from obfuscate, +2 from dismiss, and +2 from rapier wit.
So that's a total of how many?
9.
9 dice. Okay. Do you want to spend a persona?
Yeah.
Okay. Good call. All right. So you have 10 dice total.
Yes.
So every 2 successes, so you're in a position where the block, Dave, for you is every success you get needs 2 to break it down. So let's work out your pool first, Dave. So you're using for rebuttal suasion.
Suasion.
Yeah, of course. So that starts you at 6
Sure does.
plus 1 for role playing.
Yep.
Do I not
Okay.
get one for role playing?
Oh, you do. Yeah, I thought that was counted. So you have 11.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. So 6, 1 for role playing. What else?
I am going to use Intimidate.
Okay, 4 can intimidate. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to fork in religious diatribe.
Yeah.
This was definitely religious argument.
Mm-hmm.
Can you? I'm sorry, I always get this wrong.
It's
I
okay.
always think it can happen. Can I fork in my reputation?
No.
How
No.
do I utilize that? In a
So
game?
reputation is for circles primarily, but there may be occasional situations where you could say, because I'm reputed such and such, can I have an advantage? But in a versus test, in this case, I don't think that it's
Right. Okay. No, that's cool. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
with
check.
reputations, it's generally for your body of argument that it matters.
Right.
But
Gotcha.
if your reputation is at stake. You can
Yeah.
roll high.
I'm going to fork in Emperor again because I've spoken the name of a known angel.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
All right. So that's plus 4, looks like. And are you want to spend your persona? Or are you going to save it?
I am going to spend a persona for 1 die,
Okay.
and I'm going to use a fate point to tap corruption.
Okay. So for another 2.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So 6 plus another 4. So 10, 11, 12. You have 13 dice.
Yep.
Okay. Now you have to split them.
I am going to split 5 defense, 8 attack.
Okay. So 5 and 8. All right. So Alessandra, make your roll. So you're rolling 11 dice. So 7 successes, and you have 3 6s.
I'm definitely.
I assume,
rolling
yeah,
this.
you're going to roll those 3.
That is
Okay.
an incredibly good roll. Nicely
Okay.
done.
So roll 3 6s.
That.
Okay. So it's another 2.
9 successes.
All right. So 9 successes. Dave, you're going to roll 5 dice.
Yep. Sure am. I just need to roll them flat because my suasion is too high.
Yeah. Go ahead and just
Fine.
roll just /R, and then we'll see it.
6. These are all open-ended as well.
Yeah. So if there are any 6s, we'll re-roll them. There are not 2 successes.
So I defeat his body.
Hang
argument.
on a second. Okay. Sorry, Dave. You sound like you were going to say something there.
Yeah, hold on. So currently she has 4 successes. I reduced those down twice.
Well, no. She has 9. And she has 9 successes. You basically double the ob. So your 1 or your 2 go up to 4.
Oh, I totally misunderstood how that's worked.
Yeah, it doesn't reduce her pool or her successes. It just makes it so that the ob, for every 2 she gets, it knocks off 1 of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can reroll a failure because this is suasion. So if you want to spend a fate, you can reroll 1 of those.
I have made a terrible mistake. If I'd realized that, I would have done things very differently. I will, yes, reroll.
Okay, all right. So roll a d6.
Don't fail me now. There we go. Down it goes.
God has abandoned you in this moment. So even with double, like that 5d6 is a bad roll. It's a very bad roll. You didn't get any 6s. They didn't re-roll. Like it's just a combination. This is a bad luck one more than anything for Miro. So you win with this dismissal. And I have to double check whether you get to do the attack. I don't think that you do.
I
that
think
just
it's yeah.
ends
I think
the
it's
argument. Okay, all right. So what's the overage?
I went over. So he got 2 successes.
You had 9.
And I had 9.
So you
that would
do
mean
5.
2 more successes over.
Okay. So -2. Let me double check the rules to see if, because there may be some room for the roll. I don't like. I think it just ends when your body of argument ends, and I think you defend against the point, then you attack with what's left.
I think so. That would make the most sense.
I think that's what happens. That's what it feels like to me.
How many did you have saved for the attack, Dave?
8.
8.
8.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it really does change things if like.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal. But I gotta check here. So resolving the argument, reducing your opponent's argument to 0 dice while maintaining dice in your body of argument means you've won the duel of wits. So I think it just ends.
Yeah, I think it's just over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a duel of wits is over when one party's body of argument is reduced to 0. That's the gamble of rebuttal, right? Where it's like you wait with your shield up to defend, but if they punch through your shield.
Well, Dave didn't understand how much he needed to get to defend.
No,
and I also rolled extremely well.
Yeah.
I thought you needed 2 successes for every one of my defense. So I didn't think you could win on that turn. So I just fucked it up.
Well, no, but she did
need 2
right?
successes
Like
for every one of yours.
her 9.
You succeeded twice, and I succeeded 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
It was very. It was very close.
I mean, I succeeded 9 times, which goes down to 4 times.
Yeah, and just for clarity, so if you're making a point versus a point, they go at the same time, but a rebuttal is specifically about waiting for your opponent to make their point and then counterpointing.
There's like an actual thing about it being later. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You Miro, I need you to make a steel test.
That's fine.
For me.
Okay, this is going to be interesting
Because you're going to try and light me on fire?
Oh, no. Something happened slightly before that, as I hesitate. Which is, of course, that I took a test where I forked in my corruption, which was difficult.
Yes.
But I advanced to 8.
You advance your corruption.
Oh
my god.
Okay, so steel, we'll do the steel, we'll do the steel and the other thing. But the steel
I also
test,
opened Ugly Truth, so
there's about to be something uglier in this room than the truth.
And it's gonna be Dave. I mean, Miro.
Oh my god, I love this shit. This is why I play Burning Wheel. So, steel test, Miro. It's just a steel test with an extra ob of 2, an ob penalty of 2.
Okay. Base ob. I just put 2 in there and it adds it.
No. What's your hesitation?
Oh, I've got to put it in manually. 4, so I'll put it at 6. Okay.
Okay. So you hesitate for 2 actions. While you are hesitating, the powers of corruption seize upon your flesh. So it's a d6 plus. What's your corruption now? 8.
8.
Oh my god! It could be really bad. It could be really bad.
This might be the thing that if you roll really highly, Miro could very easily be like outside of continuing to be able to be played territory. This might be the exit scene for Miro.
8 plus 6. No, the worst that can happen is tentacles.
Okay, great. Sure.
You can't do shadows and dust or amoeboid.
Okay, great. All right. The worst thing that can happen is tentacles. And Dave, what did you choose for your last one?
I chose left hand, so I'm on right hand.
Okay.
When you open up a skill, it's at half the.
Yes, half the base. Thing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Dave.
I can't find the table again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me find it. I've got a note in my book.
I can't even remember which book it's in. I've always got both.
It's in the codex. It's page.
That'll be what.
261.
261.
Oh, sorry, bumped the mic there a little bit.
I have never won a duel of wits before without a compromise.
Here we go.
Crushing. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Roll d6 plus 8. Something horrific.
Holy shit! This.
It's tentacles. It's tentacles.
Oh my god!
If it was one less, it could have been radula.
It's tentacles.
Or spines or cilia.
Oh my god. The angels bless you again with mighty tentacles. All right, so tentacles are a trait that's on page 531. And so for these two actions, Brother Miro grows tentacles. Tentacles are supple, strong, sticky, and agile additional limbs. Comes in 2 grades. 2 tentacles cost 4 points. More than 2 tentacles cost 7 points and gives you a +2 advantage to lock, push, and grabbing related tests. Extra limbs cause a +1 and +2 ob to inconspicuous tests. How many tentacles do you grow, Miro? I'm going to let you decide. 2 or more. And these are in addition to your arms. You don't lose your arms.
Where?
Yeah. Is this a cluster of tentacles from your chest? Do you grow them like angel wings from your back? Like,
They come out like they're 4 tentacles like dragonfly's wings.
well, I mean, I'm thinking of like Tyrael's wings from Diablo, right? Like, but tentacles.
Just Doc Ock that shit. That's the best tentacles.
If you'd like a moment to think about it, you're
I
welcome
can't believe
to.
Dave's
but
got tentacles.
I can believe it.
I can
Dave, I've never seen
100%
your
believe.
IRL tentacles?
I get and I think this is interesting because I have just soundly lost my position and the way that I was gonna play this before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is going to end up being a big change for Miro.
Yeah.
And what we end up getting are a set of 5 tentacles that grow out of his back.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the scars for them form the point of well, they're a little bit round in a little circle like this. It's got a little crest on it like this, and there's one going diagonally slightly.
Nice.
Yeah, so these 5 tentacles, like, he doubles over in pain, and you see like the back of his, like, he's like crouched over.
Yeah, fall to your hands and knees.
Yeah, and like heaving. And at first he looks like he's just convulsing. You've seen him do it before. Until you hear like a ripping sound, and there's just, and it does like the big enemy like blood spurt, because they all come out really quickly. They don't grow slowly. Like,
yeah, this is that Bloodborne
like,
shit.
his robes and his skin all like up, and they're all like writhing in the air, and they like coil around each other. And yeah, like you see this sign, and he can't see it himself, but he feels that something is definitely wrong. This is the first time he can identify it
definitely
as
not
like,
angelic
corruption
shit.
instead of
Okay.
like a blessing.
I mean, Alessandra and the king, before you can do anything,
Lady
Make
Protector.
a steel test.
it's a steel test. The Lady Protector's outside.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
she's not
definitely
seen
understand
this
being a
beast.
steel test. This is creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
So what's the ob?
The ob is, let me see, for steel, it's like seeing something obviously supernatural, but not being affected directly by magic. I think it's like a +2.
So my
it's
hesitation +2.
+2. Yeah, your hesitation +2.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll leave it on this screen. I'll let you roll first.
I four actions. I hesitate.
Okay. All right. The king, and you choose what you're gonna do.
I have way too many challenging steel tests.
Yeah. You just need like a little scare. Let me find the king. King Thomas.
I think that I wanna let me just what I want to do is like
Shit.
kind of like try and, because you were standing by the door, we both were, and now you've fallen to the ground, and I think like you're effectively like blocking the way out with your crazy tentacles.
Yeah, they're all like writhing up above me and just like flicking around. So you probably don't want to get near them.
Yeah, and so I
Coated
feel
in blood,
like
flashing.
this is. Do I have to scream if I run?
Yes. Run screaming.
I don't want to scream.
You can just faint. That works too.
I want to
The thing is, everybody who has ever failed a steel test in the history of time tries to find a way to be like, yeah, but I don't want it to be embarrassing or like make my character look
Yeah.
stupid.
I feel like this is fall prone in that like she tries to hide. Like she like tries to hide and she's like what in the this is like she's
Well,
I
like
don't
how,
think she's
well, what's
ever
great
felt
what's
like-
great here is you just said God is dead, and now
and
there's
she's
a
never
demon
felt
in the
more
room.
like praying in her life.
Yeah, like please God, why are you dead?
Yeah, no, that's legitimately like that's what it is. Is like she just said God is dead and nothing that he says matters, and now she's just like
This is the
the one time where she's most felt like praying. In
It's
her
like
whole
yeah,
life.
it's like the dark powers being like, yes, God is dead, and no one will save you now.
Yeah, so there's I feel like it's like an instinctive childhood ingrained kind of like fervent prayer to like anybody to like help me, oh God, what is going on? She logically believes what she said, but this
Right.
is not coming from a place of
no,
logic.
it's totally an emotional response. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're gonna choose fall prone and beg for mercy from God.
Yeah, I'm
Who
trying to
cannot
hide
hear
behind
you.
the like queen's bed or whatever.
I mean, I think it's just you fall immediately, drop to the ground. You don't have time to like run anywhere else.
Okay.
You just fall to your knees. The king, who also failed, is going to stand and drool for four seconds. Yeah. So, what do you do, Miro?
Gosh. Amidst all the pain, and like the room's like covered in like flecks of blood and skin and just rags of his robes,
Mm-hmm.
and he stands up, or he like goes to stand up,
Yeah.
and just like lurches forward, and two of the tentacles, like the bottom ones, just kind of press down. And they like lift him up.
Yeah,
so
totally.
he
Yeah. Your
slump
your
over
actual
him.
body's pretty limp, but the tentacles are like, let's get out of here, buddy, and they like lift you up.
They lift him up,
So you're,
and
like, hanging
he's
from
looking
something.
down, and he raises his head, and he's just sort of tilted sideways, and he says, "I see. This is why the angel thought fit to destroy this kingdom. There is no believers left. There is nobody to be saved. You brought this winter upon yourselves. It is a fitting end for you who have given up on God, who have given up on heaven."
Okay, and then what do you do? Like I figured that eats up about two of the like 4 beats.
I've got 4 beats.
Because basically what'll happen is as soon as either of them are able to speak, someone is going to scream or shout for help or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you could just like use your tentacles to like clamber up the wall and climb out a window and run away.
You could use your tentacles to murder the non-believers. I mean, I don't want to be dead, but you seem to be very angry.
Yeah, I'm just checking something really quickly. Because casting spells is
It goes
confusing
to
how it takes.
Sorceress Fire in the Codex and look at how long it takes to summon it.
Yeah.
Does Miro? Did Miro hesitate?
Did Miro also have?
Oh, that was when the tentacles came out.
No, it was before the tentacles. So you were like,
Right, the
shut up,
time
Miro.
that he was hesitating was when the tentacles.
Yes,
were
the tentacles were like bursting out during those two things, which caused you to do the steel test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you won. You won the Duel of Wits.
the Duel of
Yeah, well, too bad I won, and now the king's gonna be dead, so it's fine.
He's not gonna be dead. Do you know who's standing outside right now,
Well,
waiting to come in here and kick some monster ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady Protector's gonna bust the door down as soon as she has a
How
reason to.
enchanted is her shit also?
So-
Does she have a magic sword and magic armor, Adam?
I mean,
There was
Remains to be
a
seen.
time in Miro's life when he was this distraught and confused by the powers he was given and the world not seeming to accept him. And do you remember what he did during that time? He took a certain life path.
Is it like
Which was
necromancy or some shit?
Mad Summoner.
Yep.
And I'm just going to spontaneously just call forth for an angel and fail. You just see what happens.
Awesome.
So okay, so for summoning, can you do that, or are you using faith, like dead faith, to pray for an angel, for angelic intervention?
I mean, I do have the summoning skill.
Oh yeah. I'm just curious how long summoning takes, I guess.
I don't think you're allowed to get intervention.
Yeah, wasn't the door was open for this whole conversation?
Yeah, but her job is not to come running in just because people are shouting at each other.
Yeah, I've just got to work out whether the prayer or the summoning is like quicker, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can summon. I think summoning takes time, and you have to bargain with the entity. And yeah, I think if anything, this is just a prayer,
Okay.
a high ob miracle. So let me look at dead faith in the dead
Yeah,
god.
just close that. Yeah, I think that the most I can do is pray for a minor miracle. Let me just double check.
Yeah, because intercession and some of the other higher end stuff is blocked
because of
the
God being dead. Yeah.
Yeah. When it's dark, we pray for light and sorcerer's chant. We pray for spells to be broken. Blah 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 blah. Minor miracle. I pray that. I mean, I don't know how effective it's going to be. I pray that the angels will take me away and destroy this cursed place.
Okay. Let's see.
I cannot succeed on this roll, I don't think. Well, I can roll really well, but we'll see.
And what is within the scope of a minor miracle?
It's
What page is the faith stuff on?
525 of the main book.
Of gold. Okay. So, in this case, here we go. Yeah, minor miracles are like healing and protection from swords and breaking the spells of spellcasters. Yeah, the column of scourging fire, the parting of the seas, the raging storm that destroys the fleet is an ob 10 miracle. That's like above divine intercession. That's like, this is the big one. If you're trying to like wipe the kingdom from the earth with glorious fire from heaven, that'd be like, ob 10 for sure.
Faith in a dead god can't even do major miracles.
No,
But that's exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe there's no role here. Maybe this is just like you pray and here, and there's nothing, right? You pray to the void.
Yeah, I can't.
Vast emptiness of God's corpse.
Mm-hmm.
I can't succeed it really feasibly anyway. If I toned it down to be a minor miracle.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's a good point, right? Is that if you go to pray, you are praying and you do realize there is no one listening. Okay, so while when that happens, I think the prayer, whatever form it takes, Alessandra and the king, you come to, and the king grabs your arm, Alessandra, and like pulls you to your feet, and like it's time to get out of here.
Yeah,
he pulls
obviously
he pulls
this
you
is
with him
fucked
to
up.
flee, and so he pushes out of the room. The lady protector is already drawing her sword, and he shouts to her like, "No, let's go," and like with her to run, like flee the castle. And the three of you leave. And no, I have a great thing that follows, Miro. Okay. So you pray to God as these people flee the room, and we see you kneeling on the stone, hands to your face, your tentacles wavering. And what is your, like, not a big reaction, just your immediate first reaction to when you when you realize God is not listening? Like, do you just like start to sob? Are you frozen in place? What do you do?
Yeah, he stands and drools. He like looks. He opens his mouth, looks, goes to speak, and just kind of tilts his head a little, and you see his like jaw close slightly. And he's like bitten the edge of his tongue, and like blood
Yeah.
starts coming out of his mouth.
So we
into
can't.
his-
We see through your eyes, right? The tears, the veil of tears, prevents you from really seeing what's going on. But we see something moving towards you. We see a shape, dark through the blur, moving towards you, and you feel a hand on your face, like touching your fur, a gentle hand. And as you blink away the tears, we hear a woman's voice say, "Don't worry, little one. You may have lost a king." And as your vision starts to clear, you see the queen, and she has around floating over her head a halo of black flame flickering, and she says to you, "Yeah, you may have lost the king, but we shall have in his place a queen." And and you see the queen, and she stands smiling. And we cut. So we see you like for a moment, like kneeling at her feet, and her standing, and the black, the burning wheel of flame above her head, and and she like gets you to stand. So you don't get to be the king's advisor, but there may be a place for you in this kingdom after all.
Well, it was.
And
Okay.
may I inquire,
Yes.
real quick?
Mhm.
So, like, those of us watching this, the show, is this meant to echo the way that the Angel of Winter was talking and behaving, or is this meant to echo some of the other stuff that we've been seeing?
I mean, the halo of fire, the ring of flame, like definitely this is something the queen has been gone for some time, and Miro, because he has this reputation as being an open door, has provided an opportunity for something else to wake the queen. So
Yeah, does it tie back to all the weird visions and dreams that Joy's been having of like?
so here's the thing, right, Joy, your night.
Oh, we're doing that. Are we okay?
Your night in the your night in the inn is a fitful one. You do not sleep easily.
My poor roommate.
Yeah, totally. You dream of not only your own like terrible past, but of a strange future. I think that you see flashes of like, this is not a prognosticating dream. This is you see other things dream. This is the wolf that stalks the streets of Carpathia, right? Hunting peasants, eating the innocent as they go. You see a body hanging from the rafters of God's forbidden cathedral. You see a creature that reminds you of someone you met once, whose flesh is rent, and from whom a withering shadow emerges. You see the queen sitting on the throne alone. There's an empty throne, and she sits in the throne dressed all in black. A banner of black silk hanging behind her, and you see her courtiers, a writhing mass of half-melted candle forms, shaped weakly, vaguely like humans, features running together, all bowing in obedience to the Dark Queen. And you see, lastly, the very last vision that you see is a tree covered in snow somewhere in a garden. It's daytime, but the sky is full of scudding clouds, grayness in the light. And you see this tree, long dead, its branches a withered gray, but in among its branches, there's a flick of color and motion. We see a small blue bird flutter to the edge of the nest, and drop into its nest a gold ring, like a wedding ring. We just see this little bird flutter up and drop the ring, and then you like start awake, covered in sweat in your bed.
Have I been as before speaking Stygian throughout my dreams?
I mean, I think you wake up and it's the very earliest parts of day, and the your roommate is just looking at you with wide eyes. She's just like staring at you.
And I like wake up covered in sweat and just like in this weird position sort of thing. And I look over at her and she's looking at me like that. And I go like, sorry if I woke you.
She just blinks a couple of times. She failed the steel test while you were like murmuring and ranting in your sleep.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so you're like, sorry if I woke you.
Yeah. It doesn't.
I mean, I think we don't like. I think that's probably good. Like right there, like that cut. That like, sorry if I woke you. So yeah, let's take a step back from the narrative for a moment, and talk about what has happened as players, because obviously there's going to be some time and some changes that occur, right?
Oh
So-
no, I'm sure it'll be just the same.
So my first question is, as a group, the characters are quite divided. I know that you have priorities to reunite, as for some of you. But I wanted to ask, like Dave especially. Dave, do you want to keep playing Miro? Do you want to be like Dark Priest Miro, or would you like to make a new character?
I would put this to the group because the way I
Your
envision...
Mike's doing that thing again.
I love it.
Has it done it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're super deep. now.
Dark Dave.
Oh, yeah, Dark Dave.
Dark Brutes Dave. I think your mic just answered the question for you.
What I
Dave,
would
your mic's
say,
doing that thing again where you're speaking in backwards Latin. If you could just toggle the cord, that'd be great.
I mean,
Sorry, Dave. I just
Sorry, go
That's
ahead.
fine. Have I fixed it
Yeah,
now?
yeah, you're good.
yeah, you're good.
It wanted me to. I was getting IRL corruption. I don't know why it does that. It's very odd.
It's good.
So I don't see a way to play Miro as someone who interacts with the other characters anymore when he's in that state. I would be super down to play, perhaps in a different campaign, The Rise of Necromancer King Miro
Mhm.
and the Court.
but you
But
are
I
at
just
a
think-
you're at a severe odds with the rest of us. So
I mean,
to
that's
speak.
been
I
the
think
case.
the power level starts to get a little bit skewed as well.
So
You
here's
say-
the thing. Here's some options, right? So yes, you could say, Adam, here's Miro. Go ahead and use him as a beast of darkness, right? And then all the Miro, like I wouldn't play your character the way that you were playing them. That was your thing, and I don't want to like mimic you or whatever in that regard. Because I don't think I could do Miro justice in that regard. But I could instead be like, Miro has been hollowed out. The fur boy we knew has become a tentacled tool of the adversary, and now serves as the like the blackened monk that serves the queen. That could be a thing, and you could say, I'm retiring my character into your care. Alternately, you could play this out until your character corrupts out, and the rules say, thanks for playing, you can't play your character anymore, if you'd like. Or you can just be like, you know what? I am a character of adversarial nature to the kingdom at large. I'm going to play Evil Miro as long as
And
we'll just
see where
carry
it
on,
goes,
see what
yeah.
happens. I think we can handle
Any of those
moving
things.
away. Yeah, any of these are possible, right? Because Andrew, as I'm sure you can attest to, you've spent the last 2 sessions not connected to the other characters at all.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but it is definitely a change. It's a change in the playstyle. So, what do we think?
May I please have a 5-minute break to decide?
Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
take a
of
break and we
course.
can come back
Do we
and,
wanna-
and talk it out? Okay.
Do
Yeah.
we have anybody else?
Yeah,
to,
and you know what? You don't
anything
even have to
else
decide this session. We just need to
Yeah.
think about it so that if there is going to be a new character, that we can do that and we can work all that out. Okay, yeah, let's all take a break. Let's take a break to recover from all that business, and when we get back, we'll talk this out, and then we'll do rewards. I don't know that we need to do any more like scenes for today, and we'll go from there. So stick around. The conclusion of today's episode, Roll20 presents The Burning Wheel when we return.